It's mid-September in Little Italy, and that could mean only one thing. It's time for the Feast of San Gennaro, where Mulberry Street closes down to cars and transforms into a festive atmosphere.
Yeah, this started as a one-day block party to honor San Gennaro, and it evolved into what we have today.
And what you have is an 11-day feast filled with great food and events, all squeezed onto a few blocks of Mulberry in Little Italy, just off of Canal Street. John Ferrata's great-grandfather helped start the feast more than 90 years ago.
The most important part of this feast is the guy over here, San Gennaro. That's the focus for us. Yeah, look, people make money over here, and that's great, but without San Gennaro, we have nothing, and it's honoring the patron saint. And on the 19th of his feast day, that's when we have the solemn mass, the bishop is coming, and we carry the saint through the streets.
So who exactly is this patron San Gennaro? John helped break down the gruesome yet redeeming story and how the traditional feast made its way from southern Italy to a small enclave in Manhattan.
San Gennaro is the patron saint of Naples. He was martyred in 305. First they tried to poison him. It didn't work. They tortured him. Eventually they just cut his head off. But what happened, the people in Naples soaked up his blood and put the blood in vials. Those vials are at the Cathedral in Naples. And on the 19th, that blood liquefies. When it doesn't liquefy, something bad is going to happen in the world. World War II was the last time.
Interesting story, and no one knows how the blood liquefies. But what about the feast? How did it make it here to New York?
When the Italian immigrants came here on Mulberry Street, they were all from Naples, and they brought back their tradition of honoring their patron saint. In Italy, everything's done outdoors, so they did that here.
And 90-plus years later, it's still going strong. All along Mulberry Street, the sights, sounds, and smells of Italy fill the air. It's a take your pick of traditional Italian cuisines, zeppolis, cannolis, or maybe even some sausage and peppers from Lucy's Palace,
Lucy's sweet, Lucy's sausage can't be beat,
whose family has been part of the feast since the very beginning.
It means a lot because it's been in my family, and it's a tradition, it's my heritage, it's, something to hold on to, like part of my family.
The significance is certainly not lost on Lucy Spada, who was named after her grandmother. After serving countless sausages and peppers and funnel cake, she still gets a kick out of the feast.
Oh, the excitement and the people and just everything about it. It's New York. People look forward to this. This is one of the biggest events in the city. And actually everybody knows about it. 92 years, they know exactly the dates, everything.
Take care.
Aliva is just one of a handful of businesses in the neighborhood actually older than the feast. The family-run business is a buzz as they gear up serving some of the best Italian cheeses and meats for the Feast of San Gennaro. Nikki Wilson works at the front of Aliva.
You may need a windshield wiper for your camera right now. Oh my gosh, I was telling somebody earlier, I've been down here since I'm a kid. I remember eating cannoli cream out of my uncle's dessert case during the feast, and it's great. It really is. It's amazing. You're keeping the tradition alive. This is just, it's ongoing. Yes, Little Italy has gotten smaller, but we still have, our elders that are here that have come. They've been here with us for 70 years in the States, and they get a little hectic because they're like, all right, we got all this stuff going on in my neighborhood, but they love it. We all love it. It's a wonderful community.
Keeping the tradition alive takes some heavy lifting, especially with gloomy skies and the chance of rain. Before the opening day, there were certainly lots of sounds of work being done to make Little Italy a bit more Italian, with open-air seating and food stands. The logistical planning takes weeks, if not months, but when it's time to build, the businesses have 3 days. We caught up with Danny Ferrata, whose family has been on the corner of Mulberry and Grand Street for decades.
It's very special to me. Don't get me wrong, this is definitely a labor of love. This is not an easy thing to do, but it's a part of who I am. Between the culture of being Italian and the fact that, yes, for about 80 years, my family, no one has been on this corner in the feast other than my family. And so it's just something that's very important to me. And again, it's just a part of who I am.
And in order to get the job done, sometimes you need to call in reinforcements.
We call everybody that we know. Hey, the feast is coming up. Need you for 11 days. My one aunt actually in Jersey, it took off her own job and is coming down to work every day of the feast.
The feast, of course, began last Thursday and runs up until Sunday, September 23rd. There's a full list of different events that are happening during the feast, including a meatball eating contest, and that is being held in the honor of John C.R.C., who was known here in the neighborhood as Cha-Cha and the unofficial mayor of Little Italy. And you can also check out the candlelit procession, as well as seeing the statue of San Gennaro carried through the neighborhood in Little Italy. That happens on Saturday, September 22nd.